House Republicans are now scheduled to vote on their fourth nominee for Speaker. Congressman Mike Johnson won the nomination last night, just hours after Majority Whip Tom Emmer won and then dropped out amid backlash from former President Trump. Let's bring in ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill for more. Jay, last you and I spoke, Tom Emmer had just secured the nomination. Now it's Mike Johnson, less than 24 hours later. So why Johnson, and how are his chances looking?
Yeah, their fourth Speaker nominee in the 22 days that I noticed that you have on the bottom of the screen there since Kevin McCarthy's ouster. Tom Emmer dropped out because, as you said, the former president didn't support him, and it became clear after about 4 hours of Tom Emmer being the Speaker nominee that he didn't have the votes he would need to win on the House floor. And so Republicans get behind closed doors again last night. They have a series of secret ballots late into the night. Mike Johnson emerges there, and then lawmakers emerge from behind closed doors. And one of the things about Mike Johnson's candidacy that frankly we didn't see with the other candidates is that nobody came out from that closed door meeting immediately saying they were going to oppose Johnson. For Scalise and for Jim Jordan and for Tom Emmer, lawmakers did, some of them did. Instead, lawmakers came out and said they were unified. Here's what Chip Roy, prominent conservative up here on the Hill, told me.
Is there anything standing in his way to 217 right now?
I don't believe so.
Nothing at all?
I don't believe so.
What about the absences tonight?
I mean, there's people who are absent. It was late, but looking at the list, I don't see any serious hiccups there. We'll see tomorrow, but I don't see any obstacles.
So the House on track to start the process of voting at noon today. There are about 20 lawmakers, as you heard me ask Chip Roy, absent from last night's meeting. So they're a bit of a wild card here, but you heard Chip Roy say lawmakers are not concerned. They believe Johnson has the votes to get to the 217 he would need to be the next speaker. We'll see if that bears out in the next few hours from now.
Jay, what would a Mike Johnson speakership mean for the House?
Well, Mike Johnson, to some, is a little bit of an unknown. When he started to run for Speaker, he's not known beyond the walls of Capitol Hill. I can tell you he's in his fourth term here on the Hill. He's 51 years old. He's a deeply religious conservative from Louisiana. Steve Scalise, the number 2 in the House, is also from Louisiana. But also, he was part amongst 140 Republicans of former President Trump's effort to obstruct the results of the 2020 election. He voted not to certify the results of the 2020 election in the House. And our colleague Rachel Scott asked Johnson about that last night. And instead of answering that question, Johnson stayed silent, and the lawmakers around Johnson, you're seeing in that image there, shouted, "Shut up," and they booed Rachel, and they didn't answer the question. And so that's one element of the ongoing conversation of what a speakership of Mike Johnson would mean. But certainly, it's a triumph for hardline conservatives who view Johnson as an ally.
So sources tell ABC News that former Speaker Kevin McCarthy is also huddling with aides and allies behind closed doors. He apparently also floated a plan that he and Jim Jordan could potentially join forces. So is he considering another bid, and would the party back him if he did?
Last night, it was unclear if he was or if he wasn't. It looks like the party is unified at this hour behind Mike Johnson. Now, if things fall apart on the floor, which is an if, not a when, that's unclear who would emerge then. But I can tell you, sources talked to me and talked to Rachel and said that McCarthy was sitting in the back of the room last night, and he was huddling with allies and with aides. And there were those lawmakers who were voting for other rather than voting for Mike Johnson last night. And the other, according to lawmakers, was for Kevin McCarthy. But according to sources I talked to who were in the room, it seems like the air has really come out of that balloon, and it doesn't look like Kevin McCarthy's going to make a play for the Speaker's chair, particularly if Johnson remains on the track he is, that positions him in a good place to potentially win on the floor today.
All right, we'll find out soon enough. Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.